Okay, it's 7 o'clock on Tuesday, December 7th. I'd like to call the City of Twinsburg Caucus meeting to order. Shannon, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Spaghetti?
Here.
Mr. Fury?
Here.
Mr. Post?
Here.
Mrs. Walker? Present. Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mrs. Labby?
Here.
Mr. Bellin?
Here.
I believe there's no presentations that I'm aware of. Great, items for discussion. We're good. Do we have any audience participation?
Oh,
Come on down.
I forgot to sign up, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Mr. Baldwin, did you want to speak at this meeting?
Distribution.
Did you want to speak at this one, Mr. Baldwin, or?
Listen to me anyway. No, I'm sorry.
Actually, at this one, we will talk to you while you're speaking if you ask questions, because that's the.
Oh, all right.
This one, you can have interaction. The next one, the rules are different. So,
Can I talk now?
absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, first thing, this is the fourth time I mentioned Blue Top. The lawn hasn't been mowed yet. I know you have the ordinance against this lawn. This is the fourth time I've been up here. It's not mowed yet.
Mayor, is building working on that, or have they sent them notices? Or?
I mean, yeah, we've had a discussion about actually Blue Top yesterday, about much bigger issues than just the lawn, but yeah, we can reach out. I know we've got a landscape company that's been working for us around the city, taking care of, Blue Top's not the only one that we have to sometimes step in and then assess the property owner. So, but I'll definitely mention it to Keith. I mean, there's other things that we're working on with Blue Top that's, again, we're it's been condemned for a period of time now, so we're trying to work through a lot of other issues with it, but I'll definitely bring that up.
Well, the property next door, is that owned by, because it hasn't been mowed either. I brought that up. Different. Is that
Yeah.
the same property?
That's the same property owner.
Because it should have been mowed before. It's what, 6 inches or 8 inches of it?
Yeah.
It's way over that.
Yeah,
All right, okay. I'm just kind of concerned about the property 82 between McDonald's and Church Street. I understood that was a CIC owned, but I've seen city workers maintain it and there's 3 for sale signs on the property. So they're not being controlled by the CIC, because I'm confused on that.
You want me to go?
No, there's, so the property there's the McDonald's property, the Dunkin' Donuts property, and then there is a property for sale that's not owned by the CIC right next to that property. It's a small house that's, I think there's a title agency. There's a title agency in there now.
Tax or something.
The lots that the CIC own are currently cleared, and there's actually a separate landscape company that maintains this property, not the city.
Because there's 2 other properties for sale in between McDonald's and Church Street.
Okay.
3 total.
There's none of the CIC properties are for sale.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering about signs in front of telephone poles. We had little problems. Is that all signs? Because there's quite a few signs around town in front of poles now, which I did learn my lesson on, so.
In front of poles.
Around different poles. On Cannon Road up on 82. I see one couple on Liberty, which I'm not sure Liberty's township and city both, so.
I know what he's talking about.
Okay.
There are.
Any sign,
signs-
is any sign at all illegal? In front of the pole?
There are currently signs that are for buying firewood, for power washing houses, for being a driver or shoveling sidewalks in the summer. There are some that are attached to telephone poles. I've seen across from the gas station out towards Hudson. They're there, but I have noticed them, and it's probably time for the building department to take a run through the city.
Yeah,
Because we haven't done it in a while, and we were clean. And we also have some of those sports signs where the guy in Canton just sticks the sign out, so you call and sign up for it makes you try to look like it's a city thing, but it's not.
Yeah, a lot of times the building department will pick those up if they're in the right of way and
Oh.
they see those, and they just leave them at the building department, and if they contact us, we let them know they can come pick them up. But again, there's probably certain times of year that they're more active in picking those up depending on their schedule and how they're working.
Because I know up on 82, those ones have been just laying over there for months. On the right-hand side up over the hill before you get to Dutton. The sign's been laying there for I don't know how many months. Just laying on the ground, not even up.
Yeah.
Which don't look too good, when people see that, so. Okay. Well, if you look at the property I talked about across from Liberty Solvents, the old Truckers Inn, I don't think any of you remember Truckers Inn. It should be a pretty popular place in Twinsburg because Route 14 is a truck route into Cleveland. It's, looks pretty bad, and we talked about that before.
Yeah, building department's been out there. You're talking about the motel that's across the street on
No.
Ravenna Road?
I'm talking about the one exactly across, there's no address or name or anything, it's exactly across from Liberty Solvents on Depot. That's the old Truckers Inn, which used to be the Millsville, if you remember the Millsville.
Yeah.
That's, if you've been back there, it looks,
The Millsville? You're talking about the Millsville building?
the old Millsville. I don't know who owns it now, I don't.
You're talking about that particular building?
I'm talking about the back of it.
Oh, the back of it.
Yeah, the back part of it looks like something I own, so.
Yeah, we can check it out. I've driven by it. I know they've had some signage and different
Well,
things stored back there.
This has been that way for years, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Okay.
The building in back of PI, the tiles are falling. Is the building abandoned?
Which building?
The tiles in back of PNC Bank are still on the ground.
Okay, yeah, so that's, that building has been purchased. So we've been in contact with
good.
the building owner there, but there is going to be a new building owner that's going to, what we've heard is going to invest a lot in that particular total building because there are a lot of issues. Yeah.
Well, right now, they can't fix it. You can't glue something right now. But
Right.
I mean, this has been going on. This is the third or fourth time I brought this up.
Right.
I don't think, I know they can't do anything about it now, so you can't expect them to do anything about it now, so.
No, I
It's been that way for
understand,
quite a
and it's, yeah, we've been in constant contact. There's a lot more issues going on with that building than just, the tile, so we've been in contact with,
thank
the
you.
owner, yeah.
Thank you. I believe I brought this up before about cars sitting around in yards, some of them with license plates. This has been going on for quite a while, current tags. I told you about that friend of mine, we worked together a week and a half, and Mr. Lowry was a policeman, come up to the house and says, you got to take care of that car, sir, it doesn't have tags on it, which we did. Couldn't get it in the garage at that time, but we got it in there within a week and a half. It was very, very, just remind you, sir, you don't have tags on that car. That's when I was a kid in high school. So, I mean, there was an ordinance about tags at one time. I don't know if that was a state ordinance, city ordinance, county, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we do, we still have a city ordinance regarding abandoned cars in driveways.
Well,
Yeah.
some of these are in the yard. I can show you one that sunk up to the rim. It's been there since I can remember. And I believe at one time, I think insurance companies, Mr. Maestros might know about this, is tarps on trucks because of windshields, and it is pretty bad. I mean, I don't know, I don't think you don't think I have any tarps on any city trucks, do you? I was going up to my shop, and I had to pull over from the road. They were coming down Highland Road with that lime, and you could just see the stuff just blowing all over the road, no tarp on the vehicle.
Are you talking about moving trucks with
Yeah,
hauling?
move dump trucks, trailers, straight trucks, semis.
Okay,
And when they come out, they roll down through there too.
all right.
I mean, I would think if I owned a vehicle, I would not run it. I mean, I couldn't do that.
Okay.
Like I say, I had to pull over the side of the road because the lime was coming out of the back of the truck so bad.
Okay.
So, okay, well, thank you very much. Thanks. Good
Sure,
evening.
thanks, Bruce.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Take care.
Mr. Baldwin.
Thank you.
Anything else, Jan?
I believe that's all we have.
Okay. Let's move on to pending legislation. We've got Ordinance 88, 2021. We went over this last time. Anybody have any questions on that? That's the temporary budget for 2022. Anybody have any more discussion on that? Okay, then we got Ordinance 89, 2021. This is to amend Chapter 147 of Codified pertaining to employees generally. We had Michael Brown was up here last time, and he spoke about it. Anybody have any discussion on that? Okay. Resolution 91, 2021, this is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the city of Solon to provide space in the city of Solon's jail for the housing of misdemeanants and inmates. We've been in a contract with them, most of you know that, for the past 9 years. This will be a 2-year agreement with them. in the amount of $115,200. And that price has remained the same for all these years. It hasn't increased. We also have the opportunity in this contract if we get refunds if there's less bookings, or it can go up if there's more bookings than are agreed upon. Any questions there? Ordinance 92, 2021. This ordinance is authorizing the mayor to enter into a collective bargaining agreement with the Ask Me office unit, which is on an emergency tonight. Mr. Brown, do you have anything you want to say about that tonight? Or maybe go over some of the changes in the contract, just highlight it a little bit.
Absolutely. Good evening. You should all have received a memo from Mr. Maestros in regards to the contract, and so I'll answer any questions in regards to that, but I will go through those changes very quickly on tonight. First change, Article 14, layoff and recall. Again, just clarifying the layoff language in that particular contract. Again, 2020 was a different type of year. We had not gone through that type of procedure before, and so we believe that we have laid out the best language in regards to layoff for our contracts, and beginning with this one, and kind of cleaning up some antiquated language that was also in that particular article. Article 16, hours of work and overtime, staff reduction with the engineering department. We had to cover field inspections with fewer people. So this allows one of the inspectors to actually bank 240 hours of comp time instead of 120, which also aligns us with what we talked about with 147 and kind of making things consistent across the board for the city. Article 20, wages, again, locking the annual wage increase in at 2.5, 2, and 2 for the next 3 years, and creating a pattern for those union members from start to finish in regards to compensation. So that was the changes to that particular article. Finally, Article 26, holidays and personal days, just adding Juneteenth as, again, lining it up with 147. We also went into a MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, with this particular union in regards to job titles. We do recognize that in order to line things up with this 7 pathway, we had to condense titles and positions, but we also had to maintain those positions that were in the contract in the recognition article. So that's what part of the Memorandum of Understanding was. The second part was because we sometimes take too long in negotiations in regards to negotiating contracts, we have a lot of retros. We took the stance this year that we did not want to do that, and to assist with that, provided a signing bonus for this particular union. Any questions?
Council, anything? We're good. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Michael.
Okay, next we have 93, 2021. This ordinance is amending Chapter 1151 of the Codified to allow medical marijuana dispensaries as a conditionally permitted use in a C2 and C3 zoning districts, as recommended by the Planning Commission. This will be on 3 readings, and we'll have a public hearing on that on January 11th at 6:30. Mr. Mesos, do you have anything that you want to add to this? Or
just to add, in addition, that if it passes council approval after 3 readings, it will be on the ballot. It's scheduled to be on the ballot in May.
Okay.
And is that just a majority of, does it have to pass in every single ward separately, or how does that?
It's citywide and in any ward so affected, and they being Planning Commission recommended it as a conditionally permitted use in certain zoning districts. So anywhere those zoning districts exist, it would have to pass in that ward in addition to citywide.
Is there a potential where it could pass in one ward and fail in others?
Sure.
And in which case would it be permitted in the wards that it passed in then?
I think we would, if those wards had permitted zoning districts that would allow the medical marijuana to be in it, and it failed, I think we would have to revisit that. Okay. I think historically, I can tell you the city has attempted to do that in the past, apply certain uses in districts that have passed and not, and it creates somewhat of a nightmare down the road. So my recommendation would be to no.
All or nothing.
All or
okay,
nothing.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Next we have Ordinance 94, 2021. This is an ordinance to confirm the mayor's appointment of the new law director. This will be on an emergency this evening to allow time for the newly appointed law director to spend a few weeks with Mr. Maestros prior to his leaving. Mayor, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I'll probably talk a little bit more about this, during discussion, for the ordinance itself. But we did go through a number of interviews, around 7 to be exact. And so Matt Vizena is going to be, if confirmed by council, would be the next law director. And we're excited. He's got 10 years municipal experience. Actually, his whole career's been working for a municipality. So again, I can talk a little bit more during council meeting,
Okay.
During the discussion part.
Okay. Council, any questions on that? Okay, next we have miscellaneous. Anybody have any miscellaneous for caucus? Yes, sir. Mr. Fury.
I am currently the council representative for Community Focus. It meets 4 times a year at the Cable 9 facility. And I would like somebody else to take that responsibility. It was not a committee of council, but it is. You're representing Twinsburg on a board of 7 communities that Community Focus services. Are there any volunteers that would be interested in serving on that board? Hi, Daisy.
I would.
Would you?
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
I will give
It
you
is.
the information. I will have, and I will contact them and make sure they have your contact information so that you can be invited to the next meeting, which should be in January.
Okay. Do you know what time? Is it in the evening or in the day?
They're evenings, early evenings,
Uh-huh.
but they're pretty flexible, so it's not like there's a rigid time. They may try to work it out for everybody.
Is Mary?
Yes,
She's
Mary's
to the-
there. She's
yeah.
Mary runs it.
Okay, yeah, I know her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a good meeting. I used to serve there too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll like it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, anything else, Bill?
That's it.
Anybody else miscellaneous? Okay, at this time, we will adjourn the caucus, and the regular council meeting will start at 7:30.